we analyzed Stitch wildcard with this vocal coach, and this is what happened.
I don't even need to do a tutorial. She figured out everything.
Oh, you do? No, you really do.
But some sounds were a little bit tricky. Good luck figuring out that sound.
Oh yeah, good luck figuring out that one.
Stitch also reviewed the techniques behind his special sound.
La la la. But then if I open it up, it goes la la la.
And he ended up saying this.
We need more voice gurus in the beatbox community.
But why? Well, you'll have to watch the video to find out. What's up, guys? Today we are with a voice expert, Lolly, the fairy voice mother, and we are going to be reacting to Stitch GBB wildcard, and we have Stitch with us. So prepare to have your minds blown. The audio is good. Video in 3, 2, 1. And the video is good to go. Getting drunk in front of mom and dad for the first time. Going home with my boys in a stranger's car. The two of us singing terribly at night. These are the memories that I'd wanna think of right now. So tell me all about it. Before I
Okay, alright, this is too much too soon. Oh, it was so sudden. 1 minute you're just doing like a cute little sort of, I don't know, it was just like the sweetest little song, and then all of a sudden you're singing chords. Are you a bird?
That's everybody's reaction the first time they hear it.
Oh gosh, okay, let me see if I can try and guess first what's going on.
before I
Oh, because it makes so much sense sonically as well. The because the singing part is so like sweet and gentle and cute. The beatboxing part is also sweet and gentle and cute. It's not like you went from that to like a massive fat dubstep thing. It was like it was that into like little birdie chord sounds. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So clever.
the memories that I'd wanna think of right now. So tell me all about it.
Okay, so how are you making that extra sound? Is it through your lips? Is that where the chord bit comes from?
Not entirely true. So the chord comes from polyphonic singing. So I can just do it normally like the lip position was more of to give a certain shape towards the sound. It's texture. Like when you watch, texture. Like when you watch Shogo do his stuff, he has, but then with his mouth position, he can get, right? So it's the same thing with the poly. I can have.
Your sound cuts off.
My sound cut?
So have you heard Layla Hathaway before?
Layla, I've heard of the name.
The person who does this one, yeah.
I think that's the same kind of style. It sounds like when you do that chord thing, do you feel like there's air brushing against something else in your throat?
A lot of air. A lot of air.
Yeah. Because what I think's happening is you're sort of brushing air against your false vocal folds, so that they're on top of your normal voice. So when you're like, you've got like this kind of like where they can sort of come together, but you've just managed to control them in a way that it doesn't sound like you're dying, but you're actually getting a bit of a additional sound there. So it's a similar sort of technique as doing like a sort of a grunt, but it's just a little bit tighter, so you're getting that extra effect as if you were to blow air through a reed like they're flapping together in a slightly tighter way. That's what I think's happening. Or you're probably keeping your true vocal folds open as you do it as well, because otherwise you would get two different sounds. You'd get like a and then that on top. But yeah, I think it's stiff, and basically it's a form of falsetto, is the brief guess what you're doing.
This is so cool, because this sound currently, this chord sound, it's very currently, I would say it's quite mainstream in the beatboxing community. And I get DMs every day by beatboxers all over the world asking me how I do it. And she, a non-beatboxer, just figured it out in one go.
Well, it's just because you have a certain amount of stuff inside your voice, and right. These different components can move together in different ways. So you have your true vocal folds, which we do most of the work with, but then the false vocal folds, and then you also have other things like something that's called aryepiglottic folds, which are on top of that. And then you go up and you've got the epiglottis, you've got the lips, and all of these things can come together, and you can pass very specific amounts of air through all of these components, which can give us access to all of these different sounds. And so it's brilliant. So I'm then just guessing based on the timbre, what is it you're actually using, what one of those tissues you're using, so we can make these sorts of guesses based on the type of resonance that it creates. Like if it's a very low rumbly resonance, it's probably this kind, but then if it's very sort of buzzy resonance up here, it's probably something to do near your nasal passage and all this kind of stuff. How do you practice that? Do you do it like slowly at first and then speed it up?
Long story short, I started kind of learning this around the age of 6 or 7. So before I even started beatboxing, because I go to church and then they have choirs, like multiple people singing, and I would sit down with my parents and I would try to like harmonize with them. And then like I would think, what if one person could sing those 2 or 3 layers at one go? And I started, literally. And then I started playing with it, and then I got it. But I didn't look at it as a vocal singing kind of thing. I just use it to scare people, like lolly. That's to scare people. And I only started using it as like a vocal thing when I started beatboxing. And the way I would practice it is by singing songs. Using the voice. So like, have you watched CSI before?
No.
Well, in CSI, there's a beginning intro. There's a song called Who Are You? And it literally sounds like...
Oh, yeah, I know the one.
Who are you? And I would sing that every day just to practice this. And it has come to a point where sometimes Justin has seen this happen a million times, where I would be talking or laughing and the polyphonic voice just slips out, It's like,
I have friends who just laugh and they do it by accident.
Exactly.
That's
they're not beatboxers.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, my synth fell out or whatever. Oh my God, that's fascinating. So and that makes sense, because when you laugh, it's like, ha, 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 ha. No one laughs like that, but a lot of breath flows out, obviously. And if you're so used to tightening this area into that specific shape to get that specific chord, then that's what comes out, because it's like a muscle memory thing. So whenever a lot of air passes through at one go, it's like, oh, we get in position, because you've practiced that for so long.
Yeah, that's exactly. Amazing.
And so sorry, I'm just like, I want to just keep you forever and just ask you a gazillion questions. So can you do other chords with it, or is there a specific set of notes that work better?
There are a specific set of chords that work better because of my vocal range. If I need to hit another set of chords, sometimes I either need to expand my range, or if I can't do that, I need to play around with my mouth to hit a certain frequency that will help me hit that specific note. Right. So for certain notes that I can't hit, I need to like really play around with my mouth, like the that you heard me do in the beginning part. I can't do that without that mouth position. I need to specifically do that teeth and the lip fold over it to get that specific note. Yeah, so it depends. But the one that I'm usually used to is very easy for me because it's around my vocal range.
You can also do this sound inwards.
Yeah.
So like just as how you breathe airy out, you can go, hello, my name is Justin.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. I feel like there's something there that if I was to practice it, it'd sort of slip out by accident, right?
Yeah, it would. It
literally.
basically feels like there's something else that suddenly is there. It's like when you gasp, like,
Yeah. When I'm having a bit of an
getting it.
asthma flare up, that's what the kind of sound I get. So I'll just channel that.
She's actually pretty close.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You're,
Like
I can
when you
hear
sound
like
like that.
two pitches.
Yeah. You're like
So-
step one done.
Yeah, pretty much.
you.
You're a fast learner.
Oh,
Very
thanks.
fast.
I'm just obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, let's hear you do more things.
Oh, tell me all about it.
I love the pause for effect. Okay.
Before I
Oh, I love the resonance that you make with the. So, like, your ability to narrow your tongue is really, really helping here because you're able to direct a very specific amount of resonance to this area called the soft palate. So you have this soft palate thing that when you lift it, your whole position here is raised and you have like a bit of a ceiling, like, as opposed to when it's down,
Yeah.
like, And so you're narrowing the tongue, encouraging this lift. And so you're kind of making like this narrow little cathedral inside your mouth, which is very clever. And then I can't do that thing. Is that that? Where you fold your tongue round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, oh my gosh. I genuinely thought that was like a notification in my computer. I was like, wait. Do it again. Okay, once more. Amazing. So this is a technique on a more basic level, like the is just a yodel, and that's a transition between two different vocal modes. We call them modes 1 and 2, the side of speechy level, and then where the vocal folds thin out and you get this quite drastically different sound. And you're doing a dramatic kind of gear shift between those two. And we hear that all the time in like yodeling and just like normal like that's, you know, from a
Ooh,
basic
that was clean.
singing thing. But then, so in terms of what's happened function wise, that's all it is. But it's the way that you then just add another layer of filter on the top, the way that you move your tongue and reflect the resonance gives it that extra frequency, because it's like once you've made the sound, you then have all of these opportunities to filter it in specific ways, and that's what you're doing. That's good.
Good guess. But
Right, go ahead.
reveal the answer.
First of all, I just want to say I love how obsessed she is. But
Right.
okay. So in the beatboxing community, we do use the yodel technique a lot. I specifically use it a lot. But in this specific technique, it's broken down into two parts.
Uh-huh.
The first one is just a normal falsetto that I put with this tongue shape just to give more texture to the sound. But the second one has nothing to do with my voice.
Okay.
So I'm not using falsetto or head voice or anything. It's just what's happening is it's technically a whistle, and in the beatbox community we call it a hollow whistle.
Okay.
And by creating this shape with our tongue, right? And then we focus a specific amount of air through the middle. We create sort of like a flute sound. So if we combine the first part vocal and then and yeah, so it's part vocal, part whistle.
Wow. So you're literally blowing through that tube.
Yeah. It's actually called a tongue flute.
So the second note, there's no voice at all. In
No
a
voice
sense,
at
it's kind
all?
of like, yeah, it's
No
like the
voice.
vocal flip, but instead of flipping up to a vocal, you're flipping to a whistle.
Yeah. That's a perfect explanation for it.
Wow. Let me just see you do it once more, the little whistle thing. You're not doing any nothing here at all.
No.
No.
No. No.
You
There are a
must be
couple of ways
narrowing
to
your
do this
tongue
whistle
so much then to get that pitch off the sides of it.
It's different for certain people. Like you really have to play around with how much air you're pushing, how narrow your tongue is. Sometimes for some people it's more lighter. For me, I gotta like make it a little tighter whenever I do this sound. But yeah, no vocal, just pure air and tongue position.
I mean, it makes
There are
sense
multiple-
physiologically because it's like if you blow into a bottle, depending on the shape of the bottle, you're going to get a different pitch, right? So by narrowing it to that extent and making it sort of cylindrical, that's going to have its own pitch. And so can you control the pitch of that as well, that whistle?
Yeah.
Oh, the sound's cutting out a little bit.
Well, basically I can.
I believe.
You can also do this whistle without your tongue.
Yeah.
What's happening is it's a whistle, but with your soft palate raised. So you also get that resonant cavity of that hollow soundingness.
This sound is actually a tutorial by Dilo. I don't know if you know him. And he explained it very well. So yeah, if you want to learn it, there's two ways. One is with the tongue, and the second one is the version that Justin just showed to you.
The soft palate.
Yeah, but I prefer, yeah, exactly. Some people prefer to use the tongue one, some people prefer to use the soft palate one, so it depends on your preferences. But yes, you can adjust the pitch based on how much air you're blowing and how tight or loose your tongue is.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Wow. Oh, amazing. Amazing. What are you vibrating? Okay, there's something to do with the tongue there. You're holding the tongue in a certain position. Okay. And there is a falsetto sound in there.
Yeah, you're basically almost right. It's the poly voice and a prolonged hi-hat. So
oh, right, okay. Okay, well, I can't do the first one, so it's going to be difficult, but that's what gives it the buzz, like that force behind the tongue vibrates it.
Yeah.
More, it sounds like distorted.
yeah.
Oh. And then you're just like, to get those little extra sort of drum sounds, are you just hitting the tongue each side of your cheek?
The tongue on the side of my cheek is to give it like a, I don't know if this is the right word, but like an arpeggiator with the note. So like okay, I'll just do it with normal falsetto, like then if you move your tongue around, it's
But why doesn't make that noise? Did you have to practice doing it really, really strong?
no, you can do it very, very light. So like,
Oh, okay.
there we go.
Okay. That's so cute. Oh, how you you do that simultaneously where you hit the snare in. Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So you use the back of the tongue to do the snare, and then the polyphonic sound, and then you use the front of the tongue to do the thing.
Yep, exactly.
In one sweep.
Yeah.
See, when you slide down here, the bottom note of the ooh, it has like an extra kind of distortion to it as it slides down. It's got like a different quality to it. Like it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
When you hear it kick in and the vibration starts as it goes further down your vocal tract. Oh, amazing.
Somebody who appreciates my poly, guys. Oh my gosh, I feel so happy.
Appreciate
right
it
now.
is an understatement. Like, I am obsessed. I'm going to practice this so hard. You're so inspiring.
When you get it done, give me a text. I want to hear it.
I will. I'm just going to spam you of just constant attempt. Is this
Yes,
it?
please.
Before I before I
We're not done. We're not done.
Good luck figuring out that sound.
Oh yeah, good luck figuring out that one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just give me a moment.
before I
Okay. So, is twang a word that you guys use?
I don't even know what it means.
Okay.
Twang?
So twang is a effect where the epiglottis, which is just over the vocal folds at the top of the larynx, it kind of comes over and shrinks the space a little bit to make your voice sound smaller. And you can use this with thin vocal folds in mode 2, and you can use it in thick vocal folds in mode 1. So it might feel like you're compressing your voice a little bit, squeezing it into a box. No.
Good try.
Okay.
I will tell you though that is exactly what everyone thought. Was this obviously they didn't explain it as detailed as you, because we beatboxers don't really know the terms and all that, but everybody thought it was something along the lines of doing something like this, and you squeeze it a little bit over here and you get that effect.
Oh, that would be like an extrinsic squeeze. So I'm talking about something that's a little bit more of like you're covering something over with a bit of tissue, so it's not so much a squeeze, it's like a controlling the resonance to keep it in a smaller space. So I don't know.
Okay, no, she's actually pretty
tell
close.
me what you think. Tell me what like.
She's actually pretty close. She's actually pretty close. You know how when you take a straw and then you blow through it and then there's like a note, but then you squeeze the end of the straw and then you blow it through it and then the note kind of distorts.
Oh.
Right? It's the same thing. I don't know what the name of the muscle is called, but I'm using a muscle down over here. It's technically your gag I can't believe I'm saying this. It's your gag reflex muscle. It's basically the muscle that you use whenever you burp or throw up. What happens is whenever I vocalize or say anything, I keep it open for a while, and this opening distorts my vocal. So I could go like la la la, but then if I open it up, it goes la la la.
Do it again.
Okay, so la la la, that's normal voice, but if I open that opening up, it goes la la la.
No, that's tongue. It's not.
Yeah. It's very hard.
Wow. Okay, so that's this tiny voice here.
before I
That one.
Yeah, I'm just using it with falsetto this time. So instead of fa 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 fa, it sounds.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of holding here, like
Yes,
that.
exactly. She gets it.
Yeah, the throwing up thing is starting to make sense. So, how did you find that?
It's a bit of a long story. Obviously, you've watched some beatbox videos, so you know that beatboxers have this thing where they like to do different types of bass with their mouth. It could be like or any throat related kind of bass. I'm one of the few beatboxers who can't do that. So I was experimenting a lot trying to find my own kind of bass. And this is pretty disgusting, but when I first started beatboxing, the bass that I would use as a bass was burping.
Okay.
So, because if you burp hard enough, there's like a very like vibrating factor about it. So it can sound like a bass. And I was just burping nonstop in my beatboxing. And then I started watching some other beatbox tutorials on how they made like throat bass and that Mongolian tap singing and all that.
Yeah.
And I realized the concept of how they opened up their throat and made it tighter, maybe, just maybe, could be applied to burping. And then I started experimenting. And then one day I just got a faint little, and I was like, oh. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's magic. Yeah, because it's you could do like what I call the AliExpress version and just do like na, like you can get the same kind of like timbre, but the way that you do it with that, people are so amazed by it because you're taking such a secret route to it. It's so deep, and the muscles that you're using are so unusual that it's timbres that we've heard before, but in a way that we can't understand, which is it's unicorn things.
Justin, we need more voice gurus in the beatbox community. You have Lolly, you have no idea. Like the entire beatbox community, even a lot of them till this day, think that I am trolling with them whenever I explain how the sound works, because they don't believe that's how it works. But
I mean, you've just got your process of elimination though, because like if you're doing that and it doesn't sound the same, it's something else. So, if you're the one that's making it and you can describe how it feels, you don't have to know how to label an anatomy diagram, but if you're describing where it is, just because we can't do it yet, the rest of us, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. I think people that hate on it and say that, oh, like you're just making it up, it's just because they can't do it yet.
No, it's not more of a hate thing. It's just that when the sound first came out, it was the word that a lot of people used was inhuman, and they just couldn't. They couldn't understand it.
We, as beatboxers, once that sound came out, it was as if this is the next level. Like, we know throat bass, we know how to do like wow, 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 and all that. Sure, cool. And then this guy comes along in 2021 with this sound that we have never heard before, a sound that up to this date, no one has used the way he has done. It was so extraordinary. And he's leveled it up since. I'm not sure what more videos you're going to watch of Stitch, but you're going to see him use it in more variety, in more variety of ways. So, it's incredible.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, true. But that's what happens when you combine you turned a weakness into a strength, because it's like, okay, you can't do what everyone else does, but you can do, like, in terms of the throat bass thing, whatever you were saying, but you've used the same principles and you've kind of tried it on in your anatomy, and you've got something even more extraordinary, which is like a really good,
pretty cool,
really good thing to do. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've got so much left to say, so I hope you'll be here before I go. Tell me everything'll be alright before I go.
Look at that. Oh, yeah, you see, occasionally it just dips into like that kind of little grunty sound when you do the polyphonic overtone singing, which means that that's like a more slack version of the higher notes. You kind of slacken it to get the lower ones and tighten it to get the higher ones, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God. She figured out everything, bro. I don't even need to do a tutorial. She figured out everything.
Oh, you do? No, you really do. You do. Please just make as many tutorials as you possibly can for me.
No, but you're exactly right. I have to tighten to get the higher notes. So for those last two notes, especially the second last note, which was more on the lower end of my vocal range, it was very hard for me to do because I'm so used to tightening my throat a little bit to make the sound, and I had to relax it to get the lower note. That part was actually very difficult, and she's right. I literally had to like relax my throat a little bit more just to hit that that low note. I had to relax a little bit just to hit that note. Yeah,
Interesting.
And it must have felt quite unstable as well, because it's like if you relax it too much, you're going to lose it and just get breath, right? So you have to get that perfect balance.
Yeah, my voice would crack if I don't sustain it properly. My voice would just crack and it'll sound completely whack.
I don't think you could do anything that sounds completely whack, but I'll wait and see. That was amazing. I'm so impressed, because beatboxing up until now, like a lot of the stuff that I've seen and like what you would typically think of beatboxing is like really intense, just beats and like spit everywhere and like all of that kind of stuff. But you've done it from such a completely different angle, and it's really as if I couldn't be any more inspired. I am. The way that you can use these sounds is you can sing anything in any genre. It doesn't always have to be like what you all associate, like just, you know, like a dubstep type of thing. This is so beautiful. Wow. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it is like
we need to meet. I like people who are obsessed with the voice. It's something we rarely see nowadays.
Me too.
You need. Yeah. Wait, where are you from again?
London.
Okay, London, here I come. Okay. I'm coming. Going to London.
Amazing. Oh, there's just so much we can do, and because you're a beautiful singer as well, and combining.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, you are. Yeah, you've got a beautiful style, and the way that you complement the singing with the beatboxing and vice versa is just gorgeous. It really reminds me of birds, actually, because you know birds have a different vocal mechanism. They have something called a syrinx, whereas we have a larynx. So a bird actually kind of has two larynxes. The windpipe goes off in two different places, which is why you can hear so many different sounds at the same time.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's crazy. And
by doing all these sounds at the same time, that's what makes us. Yeah, it sounds like you have one of those as well, because you can do that with those polyphonic tones. Because it's not like just tapping into normal harmonic overtone, like the overtone series, like the it's way it is different. But do you do that as well?
No, that is something I've been trying to learn, and I can't get it down.
Oh, you will. With a tongue as agile as yours, like you will. Just
hopefully one day.
Yeah, just when you're holding the pitch, just bring your tongue back as much as you possibly can, and you will find it.
Okay.
It's like that.
It's like saying R.
Really pull the tongue back, like you're doing a Celine Dion impression.
Okay, sorry, that was funny.
Yeah, it's better on a lower note.
Lower note. Oh, that is difficult. I will work on it though. That is, wow, okay.
I have a lot more stuff to work on than you. So thank
wow.
you so much
Thank,
for that.
thank you. No, thank you. You know, it's nice when people are are able to appreciate our art form like this, you know, and like totally go completely obsessed into it. You know, it makes us feel really promised about the future in terms of how society will take in our currently still kind of niche art form, and hopefully it will be something bigger in the future, you know, thanks to people like you. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's thanks to people like you as well, because you're making beatboxing something that is about something far beyond just the beat aspect of it. You're using every part of your throat to make so many different sounds, and I think that I can definitely see that coming into contemporary music and like commercial music, because it is what you're doing is musical. It's not just tricks. It is like a beautiful thing to listen to as a piece of music. So yeah. I really want to see it live now. That's like the only thing that I think I'm missing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stare at you.
We need to meet
Well-
up one day, and then I'll give you poly lessons, and then you will give me singing lessons.
I would love that. Yes.
You were going to say something, Justin?
Yeah, there's gonna be a battle in France, Florida. Stitch is going to compete along with Heartzel and a lot of other amazing beatboxers. So if you're free, I think it's like end of March 31st and
March
1st April,
31st
right?
and April 1st. Yeah.
Yeah.
In France.
Yeah. Specifically in Arden.
Okay. Yeah, send me the information. I will definitely try.
Yes.
Okay. Sure thing. But all right, that's it. I guess we are gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much, Lolly and Stitch, for being a part of this video. You guys have learned so many new insights. We have heard so much about the voice, so much, all the scientific things that maybe we never heard of. There's more of that coming. Up next, we are going to look at Heartzel's video, and it's going to be on the FairyVoiceMother's channel. So if you want to check it out, make sure to subscribe to her, make sure to check out all her videos, and stay tuned because you're going to have lots more content like this. See you next video.
Bye bye, everybody.
Oh, hey there, you made it to the end. Thank you so much for staying to this long. We really, really appreciate it. And if you want to get early access videos to support us more, to get like special emojis and like sneak peeks, memes, and be part of the Beatbox International family Discord server only for members, you can join our membership, YouTube membership thing. Yeah, that one. So if you can, come along. It's going to be fun. Thank you again. See you in the next video.